Itchy, I think it's time.
Time to pick Gar up off the floor?
No, it's time to return to virtual reality!
Ah, fuck.
Trooper transform!
Cue the roll call?
Yeah.
We are live! Connect.
Loading.
Tempered Zeal! Bluecaster, Super Ichi!
Loud and impulsive. Greycaster, late.
Illuminating the Tokuverse. Goldcaster, Garza.
Spark of Courage, the Power of Dreams. Orange Caster, Global Soft Perka.
Quick on the draw and draw on the quick. Red Caster, Savage Fox.
Power of anime runs through my veins. Crimson Caster, Show Raven.
Broadcasting hundreds of opinions across the world!
Radio Sentai Castranger.
Welcome to Radio Sentai Castranger. This is episode 304. Blaze, Pokemon of the Week.
What's the copy picture of Comrade Blades?
Blaze isn't there. Fuck!
Oh, he's there.
No, he's there. He's just... Aaron!
Aaron!
Yay! We're almost close to episode Aggron, who's my favorite steel Pokemon.
I got a funny story about Aaron. I was working at the casino at the time, and I'm in the break room, and I'm catching Pokemon, and my buddy Aaron is like, "Oh man, what Pokemon you catch?" I'm like, "Oh, I caught an Aaron." He's like, No, what Pokemon you catch? I caught an Aaron. I know, like, I'm asking you what Pokemon you caught. Hey,
I was waiting. I was gonna say you done messed up. Hey, Aaron.
People will say like, "Oh man, Mega Scizor's like one of the coolest steel Pokemon of all time." Yeah, no, fucking Mega Aggron would like a word with you.
Nope.
That shit is fucking badass.
Nope, still Mega Scizor.
Mm-mm.
Specifically, Blue Mega Scizor.
The shortest string on it. I thought it had a much longer string.
What does? Oh, the Trooper. Yeah, it's because it's for children.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's literally just a piece of probably 9.
Now it's just a choker.
Yeah. It's like you loaded the wrong VR program. And instead of fighting monsters, it's like, like a dominatrix thing.
You wear
Oh god, it's Bethesda. It's clipping through my neck.
Oh god.
You wear it long enough, you'll think you in virtual reality.
Well, if it's Bethesda, you owe them another $29 for DLC.
And then there's also
I'm
Mega
sorry.
Hum for us and its beautiful hair.
All right, we're past Pokemon.
No.
Never.
We will never be.
I should
Not
stop
while
slapping.
Check out Joe Raven stream now!
Now with the Discord server.
Yeah. Go check out the Discord server. It's fun. We make Pokemon jokes.
I also...
I know,
you know what I love now? Somebody go like, "Are you even a fan of Pokemon?" And be like, "Fuck." Like, just like this.
Just whip out your arm that's already been there.
Yeah. Like, that looks like a shark. Sorry, wrong arm.
All right. We are a 6-man Pokemon team of tokusatsu
I'm the normal type.
enthusiasts who get together every
Raven's
week.
the grass type. Ichi's water and ice. Tom would be fire.
Yes.
And Gar would be
Poison.
ground.
Okay, last
Yeah,
time-
ground type because he's on the ground.
Yeah.
Boy's a Snorlax.
And Emily would be the beautiful fairy type.
Okay,
Go on.
so
No,
one last thing, okay? This arm, forearm, a Ninetales with a Vulpix little, like, dot. On this side, a Alolan Ninetales in the other direction, so you put them together, it's a yin-yang.
Nice.
Cost
And
me
normal steel. Aw, thank you, Blaziken.
Is that the new member of the Steel family?
Sure.
Does anyone have anything to drink that I could bum off?
Norman
that's
Steele?
not, Pepsi?
I have apple juice.
Can I have an apple juice?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I might take you up on that in a bit, too.
Go grab. If you grab me one, you guys can have one.
Alright.
We drink apple juice on this podcast now.
Could someone please put, Slowbro Cop's head on Akron's body? I want to see.
No, if anything, Mega Aggron is the criminal that Slowbro Cop has to arrest.
Oh my god, he's the Clarence Boddiger of fucking Slowbro Cop.
My bullets bounce off of him!
He's voiced by Red Foreman. Because that was the...
Kurtwood Smith?
Yeah, because that was the villain in RoboCop, was Kurtwood Smith.
Cop, I will put my foot up your ass.
I love the narrative we're slowly constructing.
I need to like collab with some people and just make Slowbro Cop an actual like comic or something.
It's just like how Captain Two Pants got lore over time.
Right? We're building our own...
There's only 3.
Just enough. We're building our own Castranger cinematic universe. Okay, so, this week we are talking about Kamen Rider 01 episode 40, Mashin Sentai Kiramager episode 16, and our feature topic, if you haven't clued in by now, is the first 2 episodes of VR Troopers. This was a show that we wanted to talk about for a long time, and previously we were withholding it for purposes of discussing it at conventions, and now that's not going to happen.
And how the fuck it got 92 episodes, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's on Netflix with 92 episodes. Have at it.
I wasn't even aware it had that
Binge
many
it the
episodes.
fuck
I
now!
used to watch it when I was a kid.
We'll get into that. Fire the bumper!
So is the opening going to now say 020202?
This episode was sort of like Endless 8, but with Izu.
I don't know what that is.
Haruhi.
Oh,
Felt like Butterfly Effect starring Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, it started to feel kind of butterfly effecty.
Yeah,
because we thought it was time travel.
First and foremost.
Did seem like the butterfly effect.
Okay, so first and foremost, the thing that made me immediately pause the episode at the beginning of the episode and ask, what the fuck, why?
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me Arc Zero beat the living shit out of Aruto, then turned around and walked the fuck away because he didn't care, only to follow them after they dragged his unconscious ass back to Heaton Manufacturing, just so he could do a dramatic entrance to then decide to kill Aruto.
It's all part of his predictions.
It's like, can you run the numbers really quick? Okay, I've got 50% repeating, of course.
He didn't just
Leroy!
He didn't just want to kill Aruto. He wanted to shatter his dreams by destroying his company.
I guess, but it just... Wait, so you just did the cool, bad guy turn around, walk away as the hero's laying defeated, just to fucking follow him back to his home base, wait till he wakes up, and then kill him.
Yeah. As a villain,
was that not clear?
Yeah, I don't get what's misunderstood about this.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill you here on this bridge. I've already beaten you here.
What did take us some logic to work out was how Aruto suddenly became a fucking master engineer and crafted the 02 driver himself.
I mean, he did.
Well, technically he didn't.
He had Izu run stuff, and then Zaya fucking.
He just had the idea. Well, the thing is, okay,
he literally just drew it up.
Okay,
this is what I wanted to do, and then it will have lasers and torches and
here's
go
the
through
thing.
time.
The only thing practically that he designed is he wanted to be a melding of AI and human, and he literally has been figuring out how to do that for the entire 39 episode run of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so here's the Naruto face of the week. Look at that smug ass face.
So
that's good. I wrote down a bunch of notes. Some of them are for later, but one of them was related to what you just said. So can I say it?
Absolutely.
When 02 actually happened, I was absolutely certain that what happened was that Aruto and Izu fused into one.
Oh yeah.
And then Izu walked out from behind a building, and I was just like, wait a minute, why is she there?
We all thought the same thing.
About same. I was like, yeah, he keeps talking about the two of them working together as one in this form. I'm like, oh, okay, so she's in that. Nope, there she is at the sidelines.
Yep.
My other two notes were one that I had saved from a few weeks ago that I didn't save, but was especially true here, which is Arc Zero is genuinely terrifying.
Yes.
It's probably one of the scariest things I've seen in any Toku thing. It actually made me shudder.
Just the Frieza death beam. He literally had that fucking, attack where he points his finger and just fucking
and it
bam!
cocks like a gun when he points his finger.
Yeah, his finger cocks.
Also, can we just say, when he just unceremoniously shoots Bowser in the back, I was like, yes!
We were all like, yeah!
Someone did it!
1,000 points!
The other note I had was, is the red marking on 02 supposed to look like the original Kamen Rider scarf?
Yes.
It's supposed to be that, send off to that, yeah.
Yeah, that's why red gloves as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's more a reference to Nigo, since 01 is Ichigo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. But, so, my general synopsis while watching this episode, First and foremost, though, can I say how fucking cool it was to watch Arc Zero just say "fuck your henshins" to the entire cast?
Oh
of
my
this
god,
show?
you're breaking the rules.
Yeah, you just pulls up her fucking thing, her key, and just gets immediately shot through the chest.
You won't. I let him send out the animals. You won't even get that far.
Right? Everyone knows what I want from this picture
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, Fua sends
Everyone
out.
knows.
Fua starts the henshin. Arc Zero literally just deletes all the animals, stops the henshin midway through, and then shoots Fua. And it's like, damn. But, anyways, when I had this whole thing when they were staring at God,
Boxman.
when they were staring at Aruto's corpse at in the Hedon building. I was just sitting there up until the first little time travel back bit. I was sitting there like, are they literally just gonna upload his consciousness to a fucking Humagear maybe?
Oh my god, that would have been awesome.
Because the number.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah,
That was
because
cool.
the number of times over the course of the show that he's connected to Zaya
Yeah,
would not be far-fetched to imagine that there's a backup of his.
he's developed compatibility with AI.
There's a backup of his fucking personality somewhere, and they just upload
It's
it.
just
to
an
the fucking
Aruto
thing.
key.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that didn't happen. Okay, oh, hey, we're time traveling. What the fuck?
We'll get into that and what that turned out to be.
Yeah,
I just love that, like, Arc Zero's way of entering the building is just smashing through the ceiling like a Marvel's MCU character.
Yeah, superhero entrance through the roof.
It's like, I think that we're gonna get attacked. Oh no.
Oh yeah!
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, so I like that I also like that they decided to just take Arto's body to the other Hedon building instead of, to a hospital.
Well, he was fucking dead.
It's already dead. He's already a corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like they take him to Guy and he's like, wow, he's 1,000% dead.
Yeah, it's funny that he actually said it because Aruto's dead, so Aruto was just like, don't fucking ever say that. But it's like, you're dead, so whatever. I can say all I want.
It reminds me of the movie Wizards, like the way that Ark was dealing with. It's like I have all the power of the cosmos. You can't possibly stop me. Well, I'm gonna use one magic spell Mother taught me when you weren't around. Yeah, what's that? Whips out a gun and shoots him.
Oh my god.
It's like, I'm gonna use my ultimate form. Gank.
Gun.
Wizards is crazy because it's just like magic
Right?
versus gun.
Oh man.
Face on Guy when he gets shot was priceless.
Just that momentary realization of, ow, what the oh.
He's just like, oh.
I saw that happen, and I'm like, there you go, Ichi, you're gun down.
Yay!
Yeah, and then like they killed a couple of people. Like, there's no way this is permanent.
No.
Right? No, the minute they started, like, Aruto was like, yeah, they might bring him back. Bowser, yeah, he was a fucking villain for most of the show, so I can see them offing him unceremoniously like this.
And then, like,
cool. But then Yua and Fua followed him like, yeah, this shit
This
ain't
is
permanent.
insane.
Fua goes to like Henshin into Rampage, Gatling or whatever like that, and then
Yeah,
he just.
I brought that up. Yeah.
I expected
He did
like,
it!
I expected like he just shoots them.
Well, I like that Arc Zero wiped out the Henshin. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's
I found a counter to.
We've already mentioned that too.
No, but I'm mentioning how I like that he
Okay.
did that. So
Okay.
fuck you. I found a
you're in
counter to
agreement.
that.
I
You're
just
in
think it'd be
agreement.
funny if he kills all of them and they just run credits,
Right?
and it looks something like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, that's supposed to be animated. Click on it.
Oh, that's what that was for.
Yeah. Okay.
That was having a hat on.
Fun.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
There you go. You got a picture of me on the Discord.
Yeah.
What, have they not seen you?
I don't know.
I've seen you.
I don't take photos of
You've
myself
been-
very
We
often.
did
I
the
take photos
QLED
of you-
video.
I take
Yeah.
photos for you for the channel all the time.
I'm sorry that I wasn't there. But
Why-
if you
why-
want to
where do you
use
think
that
the
picture
pictures
of me
from that
holding
were-
with the trooper thing and put it in there?
Where do you think the pictures for the 2020 Itchy swimsuit calendar came from?
Oh God, the world does not need.
But
So yeah, Aruto gets sniped and taken to the hidden building, and then Izu has this scene where she starts asking him for orders.
yeah,
And gets
starts
confused.
crying.
That's a sexy picture of me in that GIF. Like, look at that. Look at me.
We're talking about crying Izu!
Yeah.
I'm talking about my sexy
That
face.
was really sad.
You need to hear about my sexy face.
She starts crying, and Jin's sitting there like,
Are you licking coolant out of your face?
is she crying? That shouldn't be possible. The fuck?
Someone get the oil can!
It was kind of like a messy, ugly cry, and it was awesome. Because it's like not like a single Photoshop tear. She was like blubbering.
Yeah.
Well, that got me
really well
what are your
acted scene.
orders,
And
President?
Lane, do you want to tell us why that was a well-acted scene? Because we all read that article.
Yeah, because, so she kind of, like, got herself worked up to cry, and she did the scene, but then she just couldn't stop crying, so they actually had to, like, leave her alone for a few minutes for her to, kind of, like, get herself back to normal.
There was this one shot of Aruto's actor, like, hugging her, trying to comfort her.
Yeah, it was sweet.
I'm not actually dead.
But no, like, she did a really fucking good job, so well
Yeah,
done.
no, that was really good. And then she just, looks like it triggers something, and suddenly she's back in the fucking office again.
Yeah, when the first time that happened, we thought that she was just, like, flashbacking and remembering what Aruto told her.
Yeah,
In
and then, no, this
retrospect,
stuck.
It
and
makes
she was
sense
like, what?
because she never snaps back to that present again.
Yeah.
So the thing is, from us, okay, it's basically they showed it backwards the way that it would have been. Technically, it's she's seeing the outcome and how it led to that outcome because she's analyzing it. But for the narrative structure, they're showing it in order as if it were linear to us. So with the way they showed it, what's this, time travel? And I was like, what is this, Groundhog Day? And then you're like, oh, this is literally what it would have, like, for example, what Doctor Strange was seeing when he was trying to figure out.
Yeah, so here's my thing. When I first saw this, and you started getting the little time travel looking bits going on, so there is some theorizing and a little bit of proof in reality for this, that you can send, like, limited amounts of data back in time, so it would basically arrive before you sent it.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher taught us all that.
Well, you know what I mean. But it's actually a reality thing here that they're looking into. So I was like, wouldn't not exactly impossible to think that an AI could basically transfer their entire consciousness back in time to themselves?
Yeah, like when
okay.
the first loop happened, at first we thought that this was just her flashbacking, but then she does it again and starts like reacting to shit even though it's in the past, and we were like, oh, is she like using her singularity powers to travel back through her own consciousness? And then it eventually comes out as, no, this whole episode has just been Izu running billions and billions of scenarios, simulations, trying to figure out the best way to go about doing what they need to do. And oh my god, that's fucking brilliant!
And they basically did sort of what Doctor Strange did, except they did a better job than him because it only took the one try.
How many scenarios do we win? 2.
Yeah.
0-2.
Right.
0-2.
Yeah, the Madoka. Honestly, it reminded me kind of a Steins Gate moment, too, in that. Because she literally just went through a billion iterations of watching him die.
Oh, fun.
That was awful.
And just, oh.
And it makes sense that at the end that she's like, I don't forgive you for that.
I do not forgive you for that shit.
And yeah, Madoka,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they happen upon the optimal scenario, and out of Izu's robot ear pops the 02 key.
Because apparently she can fucking 3D print out of her ear now.
I
Fucking why not
jokingly
at
said,
this point?
what's she gonna do, 3D print out of her ass?
I mean, basically she's Zaya now, so I guess.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
And so yeah, she prints the 02 key, and from it spawns the 02 driver, which is just the 01 driver with an accessory on it.
Oh, yeah, Hyper Rabbit's got a point. That was her hard drive that popped out of her ear. And it
Oh.
just became the key.
That covers the whole fusing with the AI
yeah,
base.
because that was her hard drive.
Doesn't
that-
she need that?
I guess
I'm sure he
not.
put it back.
She's got a fucking backup in there. She's got a backup of the entirety of Satellite Zaya in there.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
The 01 driver with DLC.
exactly.
basically.
I'm gonna buy the Seasons Pass.
Yeah. So yeah, we see her like hand the key to Aruto, and then we cut to him standing in this rubble, and like Izu's not there, like in that shot, so we all immediately assumed, oh my god, is he gonna fuse with her?
Fuse together, and then she steps out from behind a building, and it's just like, what?
Okay, there she is. And
no, it's just her hard drive that's in there.
I think we can safely assume that this is the series.
Well, that is horrible, but also accurate, sadly.
A lot of recent Kamen Rider series has had this thing where one scene in the opening happens late in the series, and the one shot in the opening of Izu picking Aruto up from the rubble of the Hiden building, this is that scene.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about it is it was a switcheroo, because this is not the Hiden building, it's the Hiden manufacturing building.
Yeah.
Yes, which Arc Zero promptly explodes.
Yep.
So I actually really like that. It's a trope that's been recent, but they put their own little spin on it this time. And thus, we get to see the Kamen Rider 02 Henshin. And now we know that the standby chime is "Let's give you power."
Let's give you.
For a while, I thought it was "Let's
Nintendo
wielding."
power.
I thought it was "Let's wielding power." But
Yeah, this is a cool engine.
it's a badass Henshin, and the form is great. But
yeah, it looks great. The fight was great.
so the fight was so good.
Oh, I love the rapid fire punches. It's not just
I love that point, like, early, and it was like, I'm going to take him out with this next hit. It pulls the Hisots, and then just 02 is just standing behind him, like, yeah, I predicted your shit.
He, like,
bitch.
swats away his shadow ball.
And he says, I
saw that you would see that.
I saw that coming a million moves ago. What?
I thought really hard in my mind. Or it's like, no, I put half and half in this cup, but I thought real hard about putting soy in this or whatever from Scott Pilgrim.
I just love it. Like, you see him, like, punch and then duck off camera, and then he comes in from the other side. That's really good.
I bet you they just, because they probably they want to make a couple versions of the suit for stuff. I think they just literally had, like,
two guys in the same suit?
Yeah.
Zero 2's just fucking Joseph Joestar.
Yeah. And yes,
next you'll say
the theme song. It sounded sort of like the existing insert theme song, but there was a new part of it. So I think people are saying it's a remix.
Probably.
We still don't even have the full size of the actual insert song, and we're getting a new one already.
How much you want to bet it's not actually a remix? It's just
the second verse. Fucking probably.
And that's why we don't have the full version yet, because they didn't want to release it and spoil the fucking 02 theme.
What, like, does the lyrics of the second verse talk about 02, maybe?
Maybe. Maybe it's just,
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, honestly, this episode gave me goosebumps the whole time.
Right?
Yeah, it was good.
It gave
was
me...
just
it
yeah.
gave me full Arlstein.
Okay.
No, not that.
Oh man, we need a saber key for Goosebumps.
Oh yeah, Goosebumps ride books.
Yeah.
Which one? There's so many.
All of them.
You were saying? One with the one with the skeletons in the picnic.
No, it has to be Monster Blood for various reasons.
Oh yeah.
You were saying a second ago?
Oh no, that's I was just more on the same stuff. But yeah, no, if it has to be for various reasons. If we do a Goosebumps book, it has to be Monster Blood.
Yeah.
That would be a cool four. Honestly, a more slime.
The Haunted Masked Rider.
Please.
That has absolutely nothing to do with why I chose that Goosebumps book and why that one's the one I remember.
Okay.
That should be the Haunted.
Haunted
Masked Rider.
For shits and giggles, someone Google what the main character in that book's name is.
Which book?
Monster Blood, the Goosebumps book.
You mean Evan?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not even just a first name thing either.
You self-insert.
I didn't need to. He named him after me.
Wait, what?
Like, entirely. The main character's name in that book is Evan Ross.
Like, on purpose?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just read that book as a kid. Remember going,
Ross?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're Evan. Oh my goodness.
You're welcome to the point. That's why
you know a real life Goosebumps character.
That's why I remember
I was once watching.
That's why I remember that book title so well.
That would be so weird if I was reading a Goosebumps book and the main character had like my full name.
Yep.
Years ago, I'm watching.
You have a cousin named Kermit who likes to invent stuff.
I'm watching American football, and she's like, "Tom, do you like football?" I said, "I can never see myself in football." All right, we have Tom Savage coming down the field. He's gonna throw a long thing. I'm like, it's like everyone. That's Tom Savage doing it again, and I'm like, Well, fuck, I'm done.
It's like one of those fucking kids or books that parents buy for their kids and they get their name printed in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm friends with Elaine Bethune in Philadelphia, apparently. She's a very nice woman.
Is she your evil twin?
No, she's an artist, though.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very nice.
So yes, we see 02 Big Bang, which has shiny new lettering on it. Very nice. And of course, that doesn't finish off Arc Zero. He gets away. Because we still got 5 more episodes we gotta film somehow.
No, he gets away, but he fucking literally sauced him out of Ikuzuchi.
Yeah.
I saw that, like, there goes, yep, there's Ikuzuchi, and oh my.
Does that mean Ikuzuchi's gonna be good now?
Yes. Yes, it's Horobi.
Right? Yeah, next week apparently Aruto teams up with Horobi.
I kind of want to buy this now.
Is your favorite number 3?
Yes, actually.
Wow.
There you go.
There you go.
Alright, so
and
yeah.
somebody says, hey, yeah, Tom Savage. Like, hey, thanks. You know, reminds me of the time that I had a Green Ranger t-shirt. Like, you know, those, like, because we have, Itchy, you know, like the Power Ranger shirts.
Yeah.
The Green Ranger one, I got so creeped out because I'm wearing it. Here, we're like, hey, Tommy! Yo, Tommy! What's up, Tommy? I'm like, how the fuck do they know my... Oh. Because you don't hear, that's the only character. Like, you're not hearing, like, if you're wearing red, you're not hearing, like, hey, Jason or hey, Billy. Because a lot of people don't remember. Everybody fucking remembers Tommy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe Billy.
So yeah, excellent episode of 01, and we'll see how the rest of the show plays out.
You know what? I think they have to really fuck the ending at this point to make this series not be remembered great.
Right?
Like, literally,
there were some bumps along the way.
Well, I was literally like, there were moments where I'm like, no, don't have the end be about time travel. Don't have the end be about time travel. And then I'm like,
it wasn't time travel. It was.
I know. That's my whole point.
It was a fake out.
I was like, thank God. It's literally algorithmic predictions.
I really love that. That's a stroke of genius.
Yeah. And it was basically she was working on trying to figure out how to get past the YouTube algorithm and get ad revenue.
How do we avoid demonetization?
Yeah.
I love Vegas. This episode felt like a middle finger to Gar, who's just been lying face down on the ground all
He's
a tired boy.
He laid down on the floor and he went to sleep.
All right.
Yeah, that tournament arc was the worst part of the show.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Next week, Aruto apparently takes back the reins of Heat and Intelligence.
No, that's my blanket. No.
That's good.
No, Kelly made that for me.
I was gonna catch Gar.
Throw the Pokeball.
Don't bug him.
I was gonna put a blanket on
Okay,
him.
he's awake.
I was gonna walk over the blanket and giggle like I was gonna do a prank and then gently put a blanket on him.
My blanket.
Oh no, Gar's been captured!
He got us no wild Garlax.
Gar use explosion! It's super
Should have weakened him more first.
Gar is confused. He hurt himself in his confusion. Alright, let's talk about the Kiramagers.
Fuck, I'm still alive.
Wild Egg Ron.
This episode reminded me why Kiramager is so great, because holy hell was the comedy on point this week.
I mean, I gotta say, this show's humor is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, Ichi was like, we were watching it before, and Ichi, before the opening thing, Ichi was like doing the laugh, like he was...
Thanks for sharing.
Hey, Tom, do you want a marshmallow?
Fuck, I don't want a marshmallow. Let me tell you a story about marshmallows. It would have been the year 20-odd XX.
For you see.
And we were filming a thing. Long story short, there were melted marshmallows everywhere, simulating slime. And we thought it's easy. If you put a bunch of marshmallows in the microwave and cook them for like 40 seconds, they puff up and they're slimy. But when they harden like stone. And they were all over the ground, people trading them, and it smelled like dog shit and feet. And I had to, and this was like October, so I'm out there with a fucking hose trying to clean this shit up, and like cold water was freezing my fucking hand, and I'm smelling the stinking rotting sugar, and I'm just like, so every time somebody's like, "Do you want a marshmallow?" I'm like, ugh.
Yikes, that sounds pretty traumatic.
I mean, I personally like marshmallows.
We came here to do two things: eat marshmallow and invade a planet. Looks like we're almost out of marshmallow.
Yeah, so get this, people. The entire reason that this fucking marshmallow like monster of the week was a thing was just because Tarantula in the last episode was just so into marshmallows that he wanted more marshmallows, so he made a marshmallow monster to go turn people into marshmallows to bring them back to Tarantula so he could eat them as marshmallows.
You realize he could have just said, "You're a monster with super strength. Walk into a fucking 7-Eleven, grab me 20 bags of it, and come right back."
And I'm gonna
But no, we gotta be evil about it. So instead, we're gonna go around and turn specifically women into marshmallows.
You know what he was like, man?
Yeah, it was all women.
He's like, man, these marshmallows taste great. The only thing that would make them better if they taste like fucking people.
And I'm gonna say, this marshmallow monster,
like people?
this marshmallow monster, damn, was dummy thick.
Damn!
Like that fucking.
Liked the way they designed him so that like marshmallows stuck up like they were teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then just he had like padding on like its ass. And
Or they just got a very interesting suit actor.
But
it was
fuck,
padding.
he's
It
dummy
moved
thick.
around a little weird. But like he's like literally like hitting Red with his butt, setting him flying. They're bouncing off of
That
him.
was the funniest shit ever!
My first thing is like, I bet you they're gonna roast him, but that'd be too easy because they have a lot of fire.
Yeah.
And roasting just makes it, just ruins everything.
And then we find out that Takamichi has some sort of marshmallow-related trauma.
And I had literally just told that story about hating marshmallows, that he shows up marshmallows, I'm like, I feel you, bro.
You both have marshmallow-related traumas.
To the point of they do the roll call and he doesn't participate. He just fucking stands there.
That was so funny.
Oh my god!
You know what the most depressing thing about the whole thing? Okay, so the whole thing is that when he was a kid, he was this girl wanted marshmallows as a present for White Day.
Yeah.
I think, but he was like goofing around with his friends and said some shit, and it was like, oh yeah, I don't really like her or anything, and then he's like meant to apologize, but that's the day he fucking got like attacked and sent to Crystalia.
I just love that flashback because you just see him get like hit by the beam and just like fall
So
on his
the
ass.
whole thing is that it's been 30 years. He hasn't aged, but she's aged. You're like, oh, she's old now. And I'm just like, she's my age now.
Yep.
And that's
really
old.
pretty.
Yeah, she's still. I would literally go to her and say, hey, do you want to get married and then retire?
But no, she's a violinist now.
Yeah, and she was dummy talented.
Yeah.
Oh, she looked gorgeous. She was wearing this nice dress. She looked sweet.
I mean, he said that she was beautiful.
Yeah.
And the thing is, okay, so yeah, he hasn't aged physically, but emotionally he's 45.
Yeah.
Because he's lived those years. Yeah. And the thing is, like, you know what? This is a headcanon, I think. Nobody's gonna go out. I want to imagine him dating her and then picking up where they left off. Wouldn't that be so pure?
That would be nice. Although the show seems to be pushing him with Sayo, which is pushed a little further even than then, since they have him working on the marshmallows, they steal his changer and go hunt the treasure for him.
Yeah, Sayo has just become so obsessed with this now.
Same on all of that stuff you said.
But yeah, like, we even see Kirame Pink flying around in Helico with the shiny changer on her other arm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that legal?
Hacks. I don't know. You know what? I don't mind that ship. I'm not the kind of person who goes, no, it's my ship or no ship. But I'm just like, that's a good ship. You know what? He's got a couple of really good options. Famous violinist, famous surgeon. Either way, he's getting a very talented woman.
Yeah. But yeah, so they not only steal his changer, but they steal the drill. So Sayo, like, takes the shiny breaker out to drill for the treasure.
And Shigeru's just like, wait, isn't that for the Hisats? Fuck!
It goes off and she's like,
I died. That's so funny.
Yeah, she goes flying and she's like, oh, that worked.
It's like they set off fucking dynamite that they were standing on top of.
Fucking god. Like, that's why you don't use another person's weapon, people.
Right?
Unless you know how to use it properly. Oh, fuck.
That's so good.
But, like, I do like this whole dynamic between that, like, Hakutami Nami or whatever. I'm so proud of myself, actually.
You got it.
Name. Yeah, I know. That, like, him and Takamichi are brothers. Because, just, like, I really love this line where it's like, oh, yeah, I really like this person. He just looks at them like, shut up!
What the fuck was with the delivery of that line? Like, he just is like, stop telling them my secrets.
Well, he feels depressed.
No, I know, but, like, the way he delivered that line was so awkward.
Yeah.
So yeah, they decided to make homemade marshmallows, which I didn't realize was a thing you could do.
You can. It's a little challenging because it's one of those things where, okay, so I've seen online people do it. It's not hard to do, but it's hard to do well. Meaning that like most times you'll get flat, too sticky, just basically like sugar fudge.
Mm.
But getting it like you know how it goes like, oh, it's nice and spongy. Getting that sponginess is the challenge because you have to whip it perfectly well. It's kind of setting.
Yeah. So you have to whip it good.
Yeah. So everyone I've seen do it, like you know, like literally took them several tries to get it just right. So yes, you could do it. You could make it yourself, but you probably have to try a few. And you saw that. And the funny thing about them is they seem to have done several batches, and one of the batches turned out the way they wanted it.
I'm actually kind of
the one they put in the freezer too.
Yeah,
I'm actually kind of sad too that they like reused the same giant monster because I was kind of hoping.
No,
for, like,
that was actually funny. I love I'm willing to forgive laziness if they pull it off in funny ways. Karancho's like, okay, so design flaw with the launch button Jagani. It couldn't push the button. What do? We remove the button and it just fires the missiles.
I wanted something equal to like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or something. That would have been funny.
No, I'm okay with what we got.
Oh.
But,
I think the marshmallow joke was pushed as far as like
yeah.
If it were pushed any further, it would have been like, oh, okay.
Like, oh no, now the Kiramager sword won't hit the monster because it's made of marshmallow. Oh no, well let's just freeze it again.
You know what it is? You know what I think that's great about this show is that there's a serious love put in.
Yeah.
Like there's a serious like they're putting a lot of thoughts. Like you know what would be awesome here. Like they're having fun with it, and you know this show is a little bit out there, but I like that it's out there because Ryu Soldier was too much by the goddamn book.
Yeah. So Sayo and Shigeru find the green Kirame stone, which Jewel promptly draws into a cement mixer.
You know what? We are like what 1 or 2 stones away from having Devastator at this point.
Yep.
I mean, I'll take anything after the last one with a fucking vacuum cleaner.
That one kind of sucked.
It did.
It did, yes.
So because Takemichi in his laziness accidentally stuck the marshmallow cooking stuff into the freezer instead of the fridge, and then they drop it, they discover that marshmallows are weak to ice. So Hakatami Nami quickly shoots them up ice discs to put in their Kirame blasters.
You only read one.
No, there were several. One for one for Tametomo, one for Sayo.
No, they only made one. They
Oh, maybe
froze them and then
No,
they-
he because one guy had it and he handed it to him like, here, you shoot it.
Oh, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so Tametomo, always coming in clutch with the strategy for solving the Monster of the Week problem, shoots the Marshmallow Jamin to freeze him, and then they defeat him. So yeah, the machine we get is Mashin Mazellen. Now, the pun is kind of interesting, but it might not be obvious. So they're making a pun between the words Mazeru, which is for mixing, and Magellan. It's also like you could also reference Drive when he went type Trideron. When he combined his tires, it was like Taya Kaki Mazeru.
What is that? Devastator.
Yeah. So I don't know why they decided to reference Magellan for a cement mixer, but yeah. So the name is Mazellan because it's Mazeru plus Magellan, and then that's the TV Nihon subs translated as Mixellen because.
What version of Devastator is that? That's fucking amazing.
That's Combiner Wars Devastator.
That's awesome. I bet you it's probably like $200.
No, it was like 150.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they defeat the launch Regani without the button by using Mazellan with Kiramazen to turn it into a concrete blasting gun.
I love that they were like, okay, so he's controlling the gun, and they had Green controlling the feet, so they were running and gunning, and it was really cool to watch.
Yep. And I love they were like, oh, Senna's just helping Takemichi out of her own self-interest. And she was like, no, we need him to resolve his character arc so he doesn't drag us down in battle.
I like the one thing, it's like, did you get heartbroken? What, I would even take this chocolate? It's like, no, it's not like that at all.
No, you just need to get your shit together.
Yeah, you just need to be better. Stop trying to throw your tropes at me.
Yeah.
Stupid sexy Devastator.
Yeah. I also I have not seen the original pen pineapple apple pen bit, but even I realize in that bit in the ending when they referenced it.
You got a pen. You got a Death Note.
I wrote down,
They actually did that for Death Note.
Sorry, the notes I wrote down, I only wrote 3 notes for this episode. One was Tenchi with Silver just moping there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second was he's loving his burger pillow. Because he had a burger pillow. And the third was the freaking pineapple apple.
I'm gonna make a reference, and if anyone can get it, you're the coolest man in the world until next week. Against all better judgment, I like this silver.
I don't know.
It's obscure, and it's not the most popular line, but if anyone gets it, I will declare you the coolest person in the world till next Friday.
Yeah, this episode was just so much fun.
And this was apparently written by one of the writers of the other very
the one where the fucking monster gave up because he was just so annoyed.
Oh yeah, the reset button dimension.
That was the best episode of the series so far. Like, I remember being iffy, because I admit, from the beginning of the series, I was like, I like parts of it, but it's kind of like, it hasn't really... And then that episode, I was like, this is fucking amazing. This is some of the best writing. Like, that's like a fucking Black Mirror episode.
Also, when, like, Takamichi's explained the story about, like, what happened with the girl, I love just Sayo just comments, like, wow, that's harsh. And I'm like, ooh. I know, you know Sayo has a thing for him. Like, totally.
It seems like they're hinting in that direction.
You know what? I want it to be just like, you know, like maybe just like, I see goodness. I don't want it to be sexual. I don't want it to be romantic. No. I want it to be like everyone else is kind of looking at him like he's this like superhero kind of dude. She's like, this is a guy who had his youth taken away from him from, you know, where, like from high school, and literally got thrown into a world she wants, and it's turned him jaded.
Yeah.
She wants him to be a better person.
I feel like human. Yeah.
It's like everyone else is looking at you like a half crystallian dude. I'm gonna look at you like you're a guy who got abducted by aliens at high school. I'm here to believe you.
It pretty well, all things considered.
You know what? You know what this is? You know what it is? All of this stuff we're talking about? Good character writing.
Yeah.
They, you know, and every time, it seems that this show, every time they go into a trope or they go into like a character, cartoony character thing, they kind of come out the other end and link it back to either another character or reality.
Yeah. So
it's like, these characters can be larger than life, but sometimes they just, like, for example, like the actor guy, he's, you know, yeah, he's like putting all that chapstick on, he's got a really big attention to detail. Like, it's not that he's a womanizer, it's not that he's, like, into that girl. It's because he literally cares about, you know, the little details. And I like that. I like that after, Kiri... The one before this, Re-Soldier, where pretty much, like, 2 characters got development.
Yeah.
And it was and both of those characters were Bomba.
Yeah.
And so it's like, this one, like... Here's the big thing. Like, okay, so Re-Soldier, I want you to tell me 4 things, or 3 things, 3 personality traits about blue-haired guy, other than the fact he has blue hair.
Melt.
Yeah.
You melt?
Yeah. What's he about?
They purported him to be the smart guy with all the plans, but he was really fucking bad at it.
That's 1.
He had a relationship with the sister a little bit.
That's 1.5.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that's not really about him.
Okay,
Again,
so
yeah, like you're right. It's really hard to.
Let's pick a random character. Yellow in Kiramager. He's okay off the top of my head. Yeah, he's a gamer. He's got a leading person, or he's got like a leading personality, but he's willing to delegate. 3. He's willing to compromise. He's got a hard edge, you know, but he's learning to adapt. Like, already, I could tell you a whole bunch about his personality.
Even though he's not the leader, he's the best at coming up with tactics.
These characters are already more fleshed out in, what are we at? Like 12?
16.
16. We're 16 episodes in, and we've already got more character development than the entirety of the previous.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's what makes some series so great. Like, you know what I think the best part of Loop had? And I'm not going to say this is even to all of the characters, but look at the Thieves, the Lupin Rangers. How developed were they as characters? They were super memorable, super like they had a lot of personality, they had a lot of character, and some of them had somewhat minimal backstory, but they were so interesting and nuanced that you remember them. The Paddle Rangers were, other than Red and Green, like it was Red had a lot, Green had a fair amount, Pink had very little, but I mean, they really focused on the characters, and they skipped that in Ryu Soldier. So now they're back to realizing that the more you care about these characters, the more invested in the show you're going to be.
I wouldn't even say that Power Rangers had a decent amount of backstory. I felt their focus was more things they were doing now.
Yes, but yeah, well, it gave them more well, there was some good backstory, but they developed them more. Like, you can, like, Kairi, who's one of my favorite Reds of all time, had such a great nuanced character.
Yeah. Anyway,
the point is, this was a really good episode.
Yes. So next week is going to be the episode where Takemichi interacts with Tametomo because he's had an episode with everyone else. We're finally going to get Gigant Driller, and we're finally going to see Kirame Silver put his goggles over his face.
Yeah, it looks so fucking sweet, too.
Love it.
That is pretty exciting.
Neat.
/ visor.
Yeah. That's an FF14 joke.
Yeah. You should... And by the way, have you solicited any of you guys come play Final Fantasy XIV with Itchy and I?
As of patch 5.3, which drops August 11th, the free trial extends up to level 60 in all jobs and includes content up to the end of the first expansion.
And if any of you guys want
to
play,
over 2 full
Itchy and
games
I
for free.
Will personally help you with quests. Because that's what we do with friends. We care. Sharing is caring.
As long as you're on the Crystal Data Center.
Yes, as long as you're on the Crystal Data Center. Which you can pick.
Yeah. Alright, let's get into our feature topic.
Woo!
Virtual reality.
We are VR Troopers.
Virtual reality.
Everyone, when talking about the show, the first thing they remember is that boppin' theme song.
I know, the theme song, you know what? Okay, so you know how hyped I was before we watched this episode? The only thing that held up in the 20 years since I've seen this show is the theme song.
Agreed.
How excited was I? Because I've watched every episode of this back in the day. I used to watch it every day when I get home from school. But I watched 2 episodes of it today. And you know what I felt after 10 minutes in? I could go for a walk.
Yeah.
I vividly remember this show. I vividly remember this show existing, but I couldn't tell you a single thing that happens in it.
About same. I remember watching the crap out of it when I was younger, but aside from like the suits and basically Toku fights happening, I couldn't have differentiated it from Power Rangers in my mind if I wanted to.
Which is made even more difficult by the fact that this show has settings that look exactly like Power Rangers and uses music that is almost exactly from Power Rangers.
It's composed by the same 2 guys.
Yeah.
Haim Stappen and Shuki Levy. You know what the thing that gets me? And Power Rangers hasn't aged incredibly well. But the thing is, Power Rangers has a certain kitsch to it that makes it fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, when we watched the wedding episode, it was like, this is shit, but this is fucking hilarious. There were times in this where we were like, And you know the thing that gets me about this show, and I didn't notice it at the time, because obviously they're taking a Japanese show, and they're, like, hacking at it with a cleaver to wrap it around. This one, okay, so when you watch Original Power Rangers, you go like, okay, I can see, I can see the lines for what's what, but it feels like they go together. This one, I'm just watching and going, none of this shit fits together.
It's very clear.
Why are they having a fight in a completely different location there? And I know why.
It's very clear that this show came from 3 different source materials.
You know what it just seems like? You know what I'm picturing? I'm picturing, Haim Stappen, everyone knows what this guy looks like, an uptight business guy. I'm picturing him with a bunch of fucking beta tapes of three different series of Metal Heroes? 2 different series of Metal. So he's got piles of beta tapes in Japanese.
And then season 2, they add another one, I think.
So he walks into a room and there's a bunch of fucking writers who are getting paid like minimum wage, and he's like, make this into a show. I don't care how you do it. We start filming on Monday.
That's monkeys on typewriters, this shit.
I'm telling you, that's got to be pretty... I'm thinking, tell me if I'm wrong, that's probably pretty close to how that went down.
By the way, I have it in my head that Haim Sabin is like the evil Bizarre World clone of Reiji Fils-Aimé.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Right?
I still can't get over, like, I always felt bad about calling it Jew Ranger, even though that's what it's called. And then literally Haim Sabin in the shows that made us, or toys that made us, literally was like, well, the next one was Jew Ranger. Jew Ranger? Jew Ranger. And I'm just like, okay, so he knows. He knows how funny that is. And it is technically pronounced Jew Ranger.
Yes, sort of. It's Jew Ranger, it says Z on the buckles.
Yeah, but it's pronounced Jew.
But yes. Because Z and J and L and R are such.
Oh, I'm not making any Jewish jokes. I'm just saying that's the word.
No, I know. It's the Z and the J sounds are almost interchangeable.
Yeah,
for me personally, I did watch this show as a kid, but I wasn't really focused on the plot. I just liked the action, and rewatching these first two episodes again now, my age.
Here's the thing.
It's really bad.
Here's the problem, and this is why Power Rangers. Remember, we watched a lot of Power Rangers, and it was still pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's because Power Rangers was based on a little younger demographic. It focused more on comedy. It was lighthearted and fun, and that held up. And the thing is, here's the thing of why this didn't age well, and why people like me, who live watched it back in the day, liked it so much, because it seemed kind of darker than Power Rangers. It seemed kind of harder edged. So as we were getting a little bit older and starting to, and this is the genius of Haim Sabin doing it when he did, he was trying to catch the audience growing out of Power Rangers. So this one, you notice, is a little darker. They're talking about nuclear shit. They aren't
out. This came out in 1994.
The year after Mighty Morphin
Is it
Season
the Mighty
1.
Okay, so maybe he was just trying to capture the next demographic.
He was trying to get both demos at once.
I just remember I was a little
he was
old.
just trying anything to make more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but he was trying to catch a somewhat older audience.
These were some of the spaghetti strands that fell off the wall.
Well, the whole thing is, I think at that time, in Japan, they were like, well, nobody's buying these shows. They probably were just literally, like, is it still Toei that's doing Metal Heroes? It's all owned by the same people?
Yeah.
So it was probably like, hey, you made us a bunch of money. Do you want any of these? Do you want anything else in our back catalog? Like, everything must go.
We're selling series wholesale.
Yeah.
So, Gar, would you like to tell us why our current background are of suits that people may not recognize?
Why did you choose that picture?
I did.
For laughs!
I thought it was funny. Because it's funny. Gar, you're tired. It's fun. Yes, it is. Well, they're reused Red Ranger helmets, apparently.
They were like their undersuits while they were like transporting between worlds or some shit. I just thought that was funny that those were even in there at all, so I just wanted to highlight them. That's why it's our background for this episode.
I think it's funny.
I actually have a thing that I want to send you that VR picture of me, and I just for consideration in the thumbnail. Also because I want my face in the thumbnail because I'm vain.
Oh, the one from Here's Drawing?
Yeah.
Well, it's in the Discord already.
Yeah, well, I just sent it to you just in case.
Okay. Alright. Though there may not be much of it, let's get into the purported story of VR Troopers.
Woo!
Ryan Steele is a man whose dad has been missing for 10 years. Shocker.
Ryan Steele is the most 90s white guy. He is so fucking white. Literally the first thing you hear said, but once it's done the cutscene is "White wins."
Cutscene.
The dojo, but I kept thinking that too. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, he literally so he's like a martial arts like fucking motorcycle riding white dude with bleach blonde hair, like fucking like
a black friend and a female friend.
Yeah, half crew cut. Like he was such like a 90s protagonist.
I just loved, like, whenever he's not talking about his dad, he's, like, very cool and quippy, has, like, his jokes. And then when he starts talking about his dad, he just really, thinking about my dad and how much he taught me. And I miss him. I really hope I find him someday.
I need to find where he is.
Hey, JP! Caitlin, let's go out and have some fun. You ready to go, Jeff? All right, cool. Yeah, but my dad also liked to go out a lot, and now he's missing, and I gotta find him.
I mean,
Like, he kept doing that all the time!
Like, I get why you would point that out, but, I mean, people can have more than one emotional side to them.
No, but just the...
I get that you're commenting on how disjointed it seems.
And how sudden shift it was
Ryan,
half the time.
you keep working out. I'm gonna go get some cigarettes. I'll be right back.
He sees his dad in the birch, like, Dad!
And he like reaches out to him like,
I just
Ryan,
also
it's a
love
video.
How could Ryan's dad know that his two friends would come with him and be watching it? So he might say something proud like, Ryan, I know you were born with a deformed penis. Don't show it to anyone and freak them out. And then
JB and Caleb.
And then they're like, what's this about deformed? Shut up.
Dad, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
Cool. Great treatment.
And then JB leans over. Ryan, it's a video. That killed me.
I love. When did the slow motion high five come in?
Oh, it's episode 2.
Second episode.
Let's just talk about it now because it doesn't really link to anything. At one point, they do a high five, but it's not even in. I swear it's not even in slow motion.
They just slowly approach hands
and then they touch. Yeah, and that's it. It's
like they tried to pass it off as a high five, but like
Power
I swear to God, in the
Rangers!
original series, it was probably like the two of them like reaching out to each other.
But they just cut it. They
had to make it 90s.
Yeah.
Or like they cut it and then reversed it.
Yeah, turned it into a freaking high five. Just like, but it's so slow motion as they're like,
You know one thing?
I think in Spellbound, it was
Spellbound?
Yeah, Spellbound. It was like they touched and like they got power boost.
Oh, okay.
You know,
they
one
conduct
thing that
electricity.
I like is the funny thing is the martial arts thing at the beginning, other than having a couple of weird moves, felt like a real martial arts.
There was
tournament.
one dude on the enemy team who at one point just kicked straight up for no reason.
Yeah, but the thing is, it felt like a real martial. You know, somebody told me the biggest way to tell when
I'm reading this jump.
The biggest difference between like Japanese fight choreography and American choreography is that Japanese stuntmen find one specific move to be really backhanded and they don't like using it. Also, it's also very dangerous. Whereas in California stuntman stuff, they fucking love it. And it's the backwards leg sweep. How many times have you seen like Tommy or Jason do a backwards leg sweep to a putty? But yet you never fucking see that in Super Sentai. Because it's actually a very dangerous move.
Oh, okay.
And it's also considered to be a very cheap shot. It's like a kick to the balls.
Yeah.
So a lot of like overseas stuntmen won't do it.
So yeah, we get this martial arts tournament, and then we see that Caitlin's day job is apparently being a reporter under a boss who is basically the unborn like fusion of like Dom DeLuise, Billy Mays, and Kevin Smith all in one.
Yeah, like I feel like if this show had a bit more budget, they could have gotten Dom DeLuise.
Oh yeah. Lane and I had a moment watching it. Lane's like, you know who that reminds me of?
Are you talking about the newspaper guy?
Yeah.
Woody. Okay,
Yeah,
Woody.
what I had written
No, let me
down
finish
for
the
you
Lane
was
story.
Hold on, Emily.
It's like, so Lane goes, you know who that reminds me of? And he's like, trying to think of like Dom DeLuise. I was like, yeah!
Yeah! Sorry, Emily, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
No, go ahead.
Intend
I want to hear what you want to say. I want to hear what you want to say, Emily.
What I wrote down was J. Jonah Jameson, Captain Haddock.
No, because then like later in episode 2, he's just like
Pictures of VR troopers.
He's playing like with tanks and stuff. He's like, bam, 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 bam. Caitlin, did you finish that story yet? All right, you better get it on my desk by tomorrow morning. Bam, 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 bam.
Is it just me, or like the first time, like he's literally like doing like finger guns and like long like explosions, and then they get shot at by a jet.
Yep.
And then this one, there's a bunch of tanks fighting, a bunch of people, and then later in the episode, tanks
fight
fight a
tanks.
bunch of people.
Oh my God, he's the one doing it.
Yeah, he could tell the future, but only through toys and hand gestures.
Yeah, and like the first time we see him, he like nicks his finger on something, and then to dull the pain of his finger injury, he dips his finger in his coffee.
I'm like, no.
It could have been iced coffee.
Maybe
there was steam rising. I swear.
Oh yeah.
That.
Yeah.
It could have been
Like
really cold.
Legit. The scene was happening, and I just was like, no. It's replace that with coffee.
Yeah. So Ryan and the gang go to a protest, and you start hearing chants of "No more nukes! No more nukes!"
They weren't incredibly clear where the nukes come into this, because they're like, "No more nukes," and then like this industrialist like knocks down a building.
Maybe Carl Zictor had like nukes.
That's what I was gonna say. Did they think that they were gonna demolish the building with a nuke?
The only thing that I can think of is like, is he trying to build power plants? Like
Maybe
nuclear power. Did they say what that building was?
No, but they looked pretty bummed when it got demolished.
Like it's like there was like a throwaway.
They did actually say what that building was. The building that was getting demolished was the building that those three grew up in.
Oh.
So it was their old home.
Yeah, but I mean, why are they saying no more nukes? It's like they had this thing. It was like, okay, we want them protesting nuclear power, and then they changed the writing to have them destroy that building. So they're literally like looking at a completely different version of the script.
We gotta have our environmental message in here somehow.
The 90s was really big on the environmental message that they knew no idea how to express.
Yeah, Emily, what were you saying?
This is all I really have for this episode, but it's pretty much all about Zictor.
Yes, let's get into Carl Zictor.
One was Zictor is this guy's normal name, and then with their protests of no more nukes, I thought the implication at first was that he was going to drop an atomic bomb on the building and then build a power plant over it, rather than it being a nuclear power plant. But then I also have, you can tell he's 90s evil because he has slick back hair, a suit, a bunch of random cloned women behind him, and a pet lizard while evilly laughs while working on land development.
I just love...
I was like, oh look, he's got Jub.
How just quickly it transitions, like there's so little exposition that it literally like he blows up the building, they talk about it, and then it cuts to him. Okay, return to virtual reality! And I'm like, wait.
Whoa, what?
I understand that you have prefaced that this is VR Troopers, but, like, you haven't led into that at all.
If you started watching this show not knowing what it was, they drop that line on you and you're just like, excuse me?
And then, like, the hot women turn to monster or, like, suit guys.
Yes,
so,
there's
like,
a
are
lot
you
of hot
telling me
women.
that he dresses up the numpties as hot women for his own benefit?
Yes.
Okay, fair. Well, you know what? Fair enough.
I just wanted to have like a normal ass secretary, and like he's about to like go into virtual reality. It's like, oh, Mr. Zictor, I got your comment.
He just sees him transforming.
Yeah.
I liked it.
So yes, when he draws the blinds to retreat to his actual secret evil lair, he has a certain spell that he chants off while gripping his crystal ball.
Which, when I was younger, I was like, that's fucking rad. And I'm watching it and I'm going, oh.
Let's all say it together.
I don't want to.
Forces of darkness, empower me! Take me back to my virtual reality!
Mono.
Yeah, I got cut off there, but that's okay.
It's so
It reminds me of, like, dark forces of evil. Transform this decrepit form into Mumra! I had some great reverb on my voice right there.
Well done.
It hurt my ear infection.
You know what hurt me the most over these episodes?
Ah! Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
My ear popped.
Oh, fuck.
Are you alright?
No, it feels fucking amazing.
Oh,
you ever have
cool.
your fucking ear pop? It's gonna replug in 2 minutes,
Yeah.
but...
You know what hurt me the most watching these episodes?
What?
Seeing CRT monitors. Ugh!
Oh, big clacky keyboards. One thing I will give it, okay? So when JB
You got mechanical keyboards.
when
that make
JB
those
is typing, he's actually looking like he's typing. He's typing slow like a regular guy. You know that fake like like slap.
I'm in.
Yeah, it's like I need to go jump around the firewall and hack the mainstream. Quick, zoom to enhance.
Zoom and enhance. So yes, Carl Zictor, when he returns to his virtual reality fortress, which really shows that they had no idea what virtual reality was, he turns into the Grimlord, and man, that transformation where you just watch him age in the span of 3 seconds into this wrinkled-ass old man with long white hair, and then, like, his armor comes on.
So does that mean that when he's, like, morphing in, like, in front of his guys, like, they're just sitting there like, oh, I wonder when, the Overlord's coming back, and then he appears, like, naked with this wrinkly body, like, he's like a human dude, and then his body, like, goes into this naked old guy, and then goes into armor.
Right? It seems like he's naked for a point.
And then,
Emperor.
Yeah, and then, like, Canon Nose is like, I can't get used to seeing that. I really wish that we could come in late.
What I am super curious about is, do we ever get to see him untransform? Like, go back to Zictor?
Yeah, they play it backwards. I'm not even joking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do it all the time.
I mean, I don't know what I
It's
expected.
literally just that whole thing backwards.
Of
There's
course
no
it is.
reason why it wouldn't work.
Of course. I mean, yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would do.
They don't do it that much because, like,
it doesn't look as awesome.
Like, turning from something kind of mundane into something cool is a lot better than something cool turning into something mundane.
I have become Carl Zictor!
Time to do my taxes!
Oh, please, like the business owner does taxes.
We have accountants for that. As one, I can confirm.
Accountant comes in like, yeah, I've got the first quarter. Oh my God, Zictor, what are you doing?
Knowing him, his accountant is one of his mooks. Yeah. Probably Canon knows.
Yeah. No, yes.
No, it's Toxoid.
Yeah, Toxoid.
Because his real name is Taxoid.
Yeah. I'm just seeing here that you've got a lot of flights to Milwaukee. You can actually claim those as business expenses if you say that you were there for the sake of the business.
That's why he has so many employees. They're all write-offs.
Taxor! Like, oh my God, that's the new monster.
All of his mooks are tax write-offs. He doesn't actually pay any of them. But...
Yeah.
No deductions for you.
Canon Nose is actually like a forklift in the mailroom that he's just put a cannon onto.
And then we just have the one guy who's competent, who's not even an employee. He's like a separate contractor.
I'm not Canon Nose. I'm Alan Nose, the Canon repair representative. I fix the copier.
Yeah. So he has one general that he talks to, General Ivar, and I heard that name and went, "Oh my God, it's Ivar from Mystic Knights."
No. Oh.
Have you ever heard the name Ivar anywhere else?
Pretty sure I have somewhere.
Someone tell me where Ivar has been used anywhere else. But this was before Mystic Knight, so I guess he just retired to his weird island off the coast of Ireland. It's a joke. It's a bad joke. I didn't think that one through. Anyways, so Ryan and the gang get lured to the Stargate by Professor Horatio Hart, who claims to have info on Ryan's missing dad.
I'm just like, holy shit, this is high resolution that computers of this time are capable of.
There's Ivar the Boneless in the show Vikings.
The fact that you had to Google that tells me all I need to know.
No, I knew that. I don't watch Vikings, but I knew about Ivar
Yeah,
the
sure,
Boneless.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, Professor Horatio Hart, who in every single scene he's in, he looks like they didn't pay him enough.
There he is, Ivar the Boneless.
He's not even on set. They just have him in front of a green screen in some city on the other end of the country.
He's on Zoom.
That looks like he's not even looking directly at the camera.
He looks like he's stoned.
Oh no, there's at least one moment he's definitely looking directly at the camera when he rolls his eyes really hard at the VR troopers, failing to realize that you guys are watching a goddamn video. Stop recoiling.
Yeah, it's not like they put on these like fucking like the goggles that look like the ones you put the film reels in. I forget what they're called.
No, they're
Viewmaster.
fucking Cyclops' visor.
You know what? They look like they're about to go see Captain EO at Disney World.
Yeah, they look halfway between Cyclops' visor and the Viewmasters that you put the film wheels in.
I like that at one point they show one of the monsters and Caitlin does like a cross block.
Yeah, she like tries to block it like it's gonna attack her.
Come on, man! How many times have you put like this fucking VR set that's like around here somewhere?
Yeah.
How many times have like people put this on and flinched when something came out?
I will admit, Skyrim VR actually scared me.
Skyrim VR. It just reminds me, it's like
big spiders.
It's like they go into the virtual world, it fades out and fades back in. It's about time you woke up.
I will say that like half the time when they've got these visors on, Professor Horatio is like awkwardly zooming very close to their face and then back out again at different shots, and it's like
how to show that they're in virtual reality, it just has a bunch of random particles.
Yeah. They're in like VR chat.
You know what got me, even back in the day, like the ads for this thing on WUTV Fox, they were putting these really shitty ads and they're like, because they're trying, like Power Rangers had already been out for a bit, so they're trying to get the Power Rangers fans, and the way that they thought to do was like, to talk about it's like JB is a VR trooper. He makes Power Rangers look weak, and he's the most ultimate Ranger ever. And then in the first episode, he almost fucking dies.
Yeah.
Like, he's literally half the episode, he's like laying unconscious in a fucking bush.
Oh, apparently Vegas found that there is a character named Ivar Ravencroft in Elder Scrolls.
Oh, yeah. Ravencroft. So he's related to one of the Jarls.
Okay.
No, wait, sorry, that's Ravencrown.
Are we...
Get your Raven straight, Raven.
But the thing is, you know what gets me? It's like, okay, so...
Don't ask me why.
and ironically, like...
Because Raven.
That too.
So many people have made fun, like even like I think Linkara made fun of this. So many people made fun of this one fucking thing. They're driving their car trying to find Ryan.
Even JonTron's made fun of the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think it was John.
Yes?
Yeah. Well, this one line he played it again and again and again, and it's like the car goes out of control. And she goes, "I can't control it," and like she can't. And the thing is, like the car fucking drives off a fucking cliff and then turns into a thing.
Like spreads, like folds out wings.
And then the fucking Horatio Hart goes, "Oh.
By the
way, I turned your car into a jet car." And literally the best, most reasonable response to anything in this entire series, is there anything else you need to tell me about?
Like even JonTron...
Did you hide a gun in my vagina that I now need to worry about?
Ooh.
Does JB's arm turn into a giant cannon?
Like, JonTron made a good point when he talked about this. Like, once they discovered that they couldn't control the vehicle, they could have just, like, bailed out and possibly injured or killed themselves. And Horatio Hart would have had to, quote-unquote, live with that.
And then, like, Ryan comes back. He's like, "Oh, I'm finally back in front. Where's JB and Caitlin?" "Oh, about that. They got in an unfortunate car accident."
It was no one's fault.
Yeah, they just lost control of the car, and I have
Also, your dog is dead.
Yeah.
Because the dog was in the back seat.
By the way, there's a flying car over there. It flies. Before you get in, you need to know that that car will take over control and fly. Just so you know.
I have told you now. Yeah, so episode 1 ends with them getting their VR superpowers, the virtualizers, and we see the Trooper transform! And you know what?
I think it's pretty cool.
The transformation actually is one of the things that...
It's pretty good.
They're cool, but I just, like... I don't like their morphers or whatever they're called.
They're just these weird little necklaces that look like they were Ultraman hints.
Literally, they sold them as Happy Meal toys at McDonald's.
Yep.
I had one as a kid.
Emily does.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a thing until I found it at that place.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get to see their suits, and they're very similar designs. Like, when I was a kid, I honestly couldn't tell them apart.
No, you know the funny thing is, though, ironically, something did stick with me. Because I knew that all of this was all from Japanese stuff. And ironically, if it weren't for Ryan Steele VR Troopers, I wouldn't be into Kamen Rider and I wouldn't be on this show.
Well...
And let me tell you why.
I guess we found out who the real Steele is, after all.
Okay, because I really liked this show, as I said. And I liked how Ryan Steele, he's like half blue, half red. So he was like half and half, right?
Uh-huh.
So one of the first times you guys invited me over to hang out, you guys were playing Battle Ride, and one of you was playing Kamen Rider Double. And I thought, is that the guy from VR Troopers? And then somebody, I think Dave, Overkill, was like, "No, that's Kamen Rider Double." And then you walked out of your room and like, "Can I show you Kamen Rider Double?" And you literally put it on and played the first 3 episodes of it, and I was hooked.
Oh yeah, as soon as someone says, like, asks what Rider is he, she's just like, "Well, let me tell you.
Only the first 3 episodes are free.
I'll show you Bill, my favorite."
Yeah, but I mean...
Prepare to have your life change.
Yeah, and that became a long road of me being into Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. So if it weren't for me mistaking Ryan Steele for Kamen Rider Double, I wouldn't be here.
I blame Paul
and I've regretted every day.
Yeah, and the rest of us all just blame Paul because Kamen Rider Kabuto.
Yeah.
I've never seen that one.
You should watch it. It's good.
It's one of the good ones.
You know what? I think I will be that one Rider fan that will have not watched it.
Next week is Kamen Rider Kabuto.
Episode 1 2.
Well, before we do it, we'll watch Star Wars Phantom Menace.
Right?
Wait, though, do we need to show him Godspeed Love before the series?
No.
Okay.
You wait until Godspeed Love.
It's just like, what?
That's a good question, actually.
No. Yes and no. It works better. It may technically be a prequel, but it works better if you see the show.
Because there's that
first.
scene in the show, and if you watch the movie then saw the scene in the show, you're like, oh, I get that's from the thing.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be taken.
Well, watch Kabuto Godspeed Love. It's a great movie.
Vegas, the thing Haim Saban did right was Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog.
My mom loved that show too.
You know what?
We've been over this.
You know what? You know what I'm going to say? It was the opposite. Because remember how I'm watching this going, man, I thought this show was great, and it wasn't that great. Mystic Knights, I remember being meh, and then I'm watching and go, this show's pretty fucking rad.
Right? So episode 2, after the bit where they almost die in the car that can suddenly fly, They fight the mooks of this show, the Skugs, which were the true form of the hot office women that Zictor keeps around him.
Hot office woman.
I mean, I didn't think they were attractive, but that's just me. I don't know, maybe people like mindless slave-looking women. You know what? Yeah, some people do.
You know that they do.
Yeah. Zector does. And as they fight them, they like throw them into each other, and they discover that these monsters powered by electronics conduct electricity too well, and their weakness is getting thrown into each other.
I like the fact that they could easily destroy the VR troopers by sending an odd number of Skugs after them.
But I guess they never do.
Yeah. Or, I'm joking. I know that they actually do send.
Oh.
They just literally throw 3 of them together at
Yeah.
once. But I mean, you know what? Maybe
I think that's worse than the Z parties, like where the weakness is you have to punch them in the emblem.
There's a big button on the chest that destroys them. Fucking hit it!
Yeah, there's a big button on a human face that destroys us, meaning punches in the fucking eye. Or the nuts. Anyway, but you know what? I'm thinking maybe we got this backwards. Maybe the Skugs are not turning into women. Maybe these are a bunch of badass business women that were trying to, get through, trying to fight back and to get ahead, and they realize that the only way to get ahead in a man's world of business is to turn themselves into badass cyborgs. Like maybe it's beautiful, talented, strong business women that change into robots because that's their career path.
I think you're giving this show a little too much credit.
Like I'm gonna make like a sequel series of like Skugs, the Untold Chapter.
I will say I did
Robot be a mutant?
I did like the scene where JB and Caitlin were like fighting together, and they were like running down a hallway and stuff, and like it's all like toku footage or whatever like that.
Yeah,
yeah, and they're just literally.
But they're like, oh, like I like the dubbing worked really well with the footage, and then like you hear them like, oh shit, this way, no, switch. Like
why do they need to switch?
You know what? Yeah, as much as there's like, there's still the like everything. There's a lot less like stupid pun footage. Like Power Rangers, like that shows him. Let's give him a hand. Like like every time they cut to a different ranger, they have to say something.
No, you know why that is? Because the Monsters of the Week and things like Power Rangers all have some stupid gimmick to them that they can play off of. In VR Troopers, they're just fucking robots.
So they're only saying things like, oh, come over here, help me. Like they're all saying like actual battle things.
And yeah, what Emily was saying a second ago is Grimlord refers to his troops as mutant robots. How the fuck is that a thing? How do you have a mutant robot? They're just robots.
If they said robot mutant, that would actually make a little more sense because it could imply that they were mutants that were then roboticized.
That's all I can assume.
Okay, by technicality, mutation does not have to. You don't have to be alive to do it. You have to change something from its original designation and alter it.
But if they're modifying robots, that's not a mutation. That's a modification.
It is a mutation. Is if you do it randomly, like you just put a bunch of shit on it and see what they do. I'm gonna put a bunch of cannons on this guy. Oh shit, he can fire it. That's a mutation.
I took this airplane and turned it into a robot.
Or they could be. They could be techno-organic, which means that they are the perfect blend between machine and living creatures.
Just like beast machines.
You beat me to it. I think they are techno-organic.
Fucking maybe. If they were cyborgs, that would explain why they're mutant robots.
Everything just comes back to beast machines.
Right? It's all connected. Till all are one.
Till all are one.
I love that at one point in episode 2 of a 90-something episode show, Grimlord firmly declares, "It's time for the final battle!" Like it's fucking Tekken.
Get ready for the final battle. Oh man.
Also, the dog learns to talk because he touched the machine he shouldn't have.
And then Ryan Steele has to like be very specific with them going, Jeb, we don't need anyone knowing you're talking. The world's not ready for it. He's all, fucking tell me when I'm ready for it.
There has to be talking
You know what?
dogs.
You know what?
Someone check how many talking dog movies were out in 1994.
You know what it was? You know what the thing is for all of the voices that they could have get a talking dog? It was not nearly as annoying of most talking things. Most talking things are like, yeah, let's go! Let's do it! Whereas he's doing a bad Nicholson, like, yeah, we're looking at me like I've just ate your last, you know, like...
Apparently it's Goldar's voice actor.
Like, yeah, the dog is clearly trying to do Jack Nicholson. Ryan, you gotta be a straight shooter, dude, you got it.
Yeah.
So there was a 1993 American romantic comedy film called Look Who's Talking, where it starred John Travolta and Christy Alley, and it had two dogs that talked to each other, voiced by Danny DeVito and Diane Keaton.
Oh no!
I watched that movie actually when I was a kid. It was not bad.
That was actually a spin-off of the Look Who's Talking. There's the first is Look Who's Talking, that has a baby played by Bruce Willis. Like the voice, like it's like a baby, but the narration in the head is Bruce Willis.
And then everyone knows the great 1993 family adventure, Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey, which had
talking dogs.
Yeah, a talking dog and a cat.
But I mean, like, by the way, the sequel, Look Who's Talking 2, had another baby voiced by, I think it was Roseanne Barr.
Then you had the 1996 adventure comedy film Homeward Bound 2: Lost in San Francisco with the same characters.
We're only talking about what came before this show.
And then
why they would have
this came after. The sequel came after VO Troopers. So they decided to make a sequel to Homeward Bound because of how much Jeb the talking dog rose in popularity.
The point of this conversation is, why would VR Troopers have a talking dog?
Then you also
funny. Kids like talking animals.
You have the
He's arguably this show's Alpha 5.
You also have the remake, Look Who's Still Talking, where it's a bunch of rats and bugs. No, I'm just kidding. There's no Look Who's Still Talking.
Look Who's Still Talking is us.
I wouldn't be surprised. It'd just be a direct to fucking VHS movie.
It honestly
starring Dean Cain and Casper Van Diem.
Not the weirdest thing to ever come
Casper
out.
Van Diem's pretty dope guy.
Man, can we do a day where we talk about Starship Troopers?
Yes, it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I've never seen it.
Neither.
Oh my god.
It's
Lane.
pretty violent.
That's why I don't want to.
Well, it's violent in a cartoony way. It also has one of the deepest anti-fascism messages ever in cinema, hidden in a scene where you see tits.
Also, Michael Ironside's in. You can never go wrong with Michael Ironside.
Oh no, like it's cartoony violent, but I mean, like, okay, can you watch RoboCop?
No, you can't watch RoboCop.
I haven't watched that either.
Okay, well, it's almost as bad as RoboCop.
Yeah, well, it's the same director.
It's but it. Oh man,
Would you like to know more?
Itchy, you would first of all. You're gonna go, aren't those the suits from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm very aware that Lost Galaxy has Starship Troopers.
And also the fucking ships, the drop ships, man, and the fucking destroyers. The theme.
It's a terrible planet! A bug planet!
Yeah.
So in this episode, since episode 1 we got to see a CRT monitor, this episode graces us with appearances by a dot matrix printer and an A-drive floppy disk.
Oh god, did you ever have to load?
You just inserted a photograph into.
Did you ever have to load that kind of? Who here remembers the paper that had the perforated dots on it?
Oh god.
And you had to load them perfectly into the teeth of the thing, and if it was off by one, it would jam one paper in.
And whenever it would print, it would always go. I
remember I always liked going to my dad's like work because he worked in an office, and I'd always just liked hearing like a printer go like.
You know what I saw a guy do?
It sounds like someone flatlining.
I was in high school, and there was a dot matrix printer in the library, and the librarian one day when I was there at lunch reading books because I was a nerd like that, he said, "Want to see something cool?" And he cracked an egg into a small little glass cup, and he used stick tack to stick it to the head of the dot matrix thing, and he put like tape to the top, and he printed out a bunch of pages. Like, he said, "Come back in 10 minutes." Came back in 10 minutes, and he took the thing off, opened it up, and it was like scrambled eggs inside.
Computer space back then was so fucking ridiculous because, like, I remember watching an episode of Friends and Chandler was like, "I got this new baby. It's got a 100 megabyte hard drive," and I'm like, so
that was a lot.
That was a lot back then.
Oh yeah.
Around this time, okay, so this was what, 1996?
94.
94. Okay, so I would have been in high school when this was on, and let me tell you when this was on. Now, they're talking about virtual reality, going into things, scanning something, and immediately sending the photo to somebody. Let me tell you, this was the time where I first went on the internet. I went into the library at that same school because I read in a Gen 13 comic book that they had a website. And I spent half of lunch trying to get to that website, and the thing's like, "Oh, No, that's the email address. You can't just put that in. That's anything with .com. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm going to put that in. It's like, I'm sorry. You only have half an hour left of lunch. You don't have time to load that website. I kid you not. That's how slow the internet was when that show was on.
Yeah.
And we had, quote unquote, blinding fast 24 megabyte dial-up.
Oh boy. So the troopers proceed to get warned about an enemy attack, and they go into the photography darkroom to henshin and transport away, which I feel is probably the mainstay for going forward.
You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing like it lights up and everything, and there's a dude there with like a little crank wheel with his film in it. He's like, dudes, you guys just ruined my entire roll of film by henshining in here.
Oh yeah, so JV and Caitlin go off to fight a monster, and Ryan gets to pilot his brand new flying ship. It's just like a video game.
Does he say that?
Yeah. So JV and Caitlin set the bomb, and then you just get this one shot of all the mooks like fucking bailing once they know. So great, and then JV and Caitlin just run out into a snowfield for some reason. It's just winter suddenly. And then before the episode ends, we get this really one weird reaction shot of Jeb the dog, where his eyes pop out of his face.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you know.
My God.
Yeah, that.
Damn it didn't show up. I guess Netflix doesn't do screenshots.
No, they know what you're doing.
Damn it. Anyways,
if Netflix allowed you to do screenshots, I'd have like 100. I'd have 100 screenshots from my favorite faces of Michiru from BNA.
I mean, I have ways to get around that if I wanted to record stuff.
Can we do an episode where we talk about BNA? Because I want to talk about.
I have no idea what that is.
Brand new animal.
It's a furry anime.
Yeah, but it's
maybe.
Is there anything in it like tokusatsu like?
Yeah.
No.
You need to do more focus on tokusatsu. So.
The main character transforms with using different forms. Like, you know, like gorilla arms and like cheetah legs. She's kind of like
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I love Zootopia. It's one of my favorite Disney movies.
Yeah, it's Zootopia is an anime, and the main character can transform parts of her body into different animal parts.
So it's that Chimera guy from the Academia movie.
Yeah, and the main character is really cool, and the main guy is a blue glowing wolf.
Cool. But yeah, like
wolf, Itchy.
The episode ends with the fucking VR troopers like, alright, we defeated him. Are we done? No, you stupid idiot. We have 90 episodes left of you fighting Grimlord and his troops every single week.
But next time, he will send them one at a time.
Yeah. Like, in this episode, he actually, like, sends out fucking everyone, and then they fight them all back somehow. It's amazing. So yeah, that's just a smattering of VR troopers.
It's a fucking mess.
It is.
It really is.
Now, I admit the show kind of gets into... it kind of normals down a bit, and they kind of get their stride, but it seems like those first 2 episodes, they're just, like, so fucking desperate to get you into the show that they are throwing all of the A shit at you, like fucking armies, like... It almost feels like they want you to feel that it's more hardcore than Power Rangers.
They took on too heavy of a load and tripped over the start line.
Yeah, like it just literally is like they're just vomiting fucking robots at you.
Didn't they actually have that problem in season 2 where they ran out of footage, had to buy another show?
Yes, that's why it's made of 3 shows instead of 2.
Alright, who in the chat, who would like to hear us talk about BNA some week?
I don't really think that it's appropriate for the podcast, but...
Yeah.
If we ever have one of those weeks where we vote for things, we can put it in there, maybe.
Yeah.
So anyways...
I think, honestly, Bakugan was a better fit for the podcast than BNA.
Bakugan!
I don't know about that. We did Bakugan because of the joke. Anyway, that is the episode.
Can we, my week of my birthday, let me just randomly pick a thing that has...
You know what, sure.
Yeah.
So, that is the episode. Thank you all for listening, watching, liking, favoriting, subscribing, sharing, hitting the bell, doing all that shit. You know what to do by now.
Yeah, everyone, put in your Raycon headphones, turn on your
Skip the
Your
dishes.
your order. Yeah, skip the dishes.
Make sure you plug in your Raycon wireless earbuds while you're playing Raid Shadow
And
Legends.
use those earbuds to listen to Audible.
Yeah, and boot up. Yeah, NordVPN.
Yeah, use NordVPN to connect to the Japanese server of Raid Shadow Legends.
And if you have a problem doing any of this, you could you could go to Skillshare.
I was gonna say Skillshare.
Or you could download a book on Audible.
I mentioned.
Huh. Yeah.
Somebody, please, we want to sell out so bad. We just haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah. Get at me, corporations.
Yep.
But mostly
I do
Pepsi.
think I'm sorry if it sounded like I was saying there was something wrong with BNA. I wasn't. I just didn't think it would particularly on topic. Not that it's bad or anything.
I don't know. I think every once in a while we should not topic it, and also there is actually
we do deviate every now and then.
There are some Super Sentai jokes in it.
Okay, well maybe.
Yeah.
Look, if that was a thing, then me and Dave would have made us watch Naruto a while ago for this show.
Oh yeah, that's got actual Kamen Rider references in it.
God, the amount of Rider references in that show.
And speaking of shows with Rider references,
I have been looking forward to this one.
Chikai Radio Sentai Castranger. Our next feature topic for the following week will be episodes 1 and 2 of Say It!
Samurai Flamenco!
The Toku
wow.
anime.
I think I'm going to be sick next week. I have seen episodes, one, I think a few more, I did not care for.
So, Tom, I'm just going to say this about that right now. My biggest disappointment in us doing just the first 2 episodes of this show is the show fucking switches gears real quickly about episode 4 or 5.
Several times.
I know, but especially for it. We'll get to it next week, but trust me, like within at episode 4, the show changes gears and becomes something entirely.
You gotta watch the
different.
show. Oh, I don't like it.
No!
Oh, you have to watch the first 25 seasons to really get in.
Oh no!
Get into One Piece.
So
the point of the show is how abruptly it changes.
Yeah, no, Tom. I will put it this way: that show. It's not just that it gets good in episode 4. No, it turns into a completely different show in episode 4.
All I remember from the first 2 episodes I watched was that there was pretty much the cop version of Kyo, and I was very happy with
Voiced
him.
by him.
Voiced by Sugita!
Yeah, so he was, from what I saw, the first 2 episodes, my favorite character so far.
The opening line is also fucking wonderful in episode 1.
I haven't watched that show in years, so I'm excited to go back to it.
You know what'd be a great thing to watch for this if you guys haven't done it already? The fucking Guyver movie.
We did.
Oh, we talked about both.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Oh no, me and Paul had those on fucking Special Topic ages ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
I still think we need to do Combat Unit Shinesman.
I want to do Brave Story.
Have you heard of Combat Unit? It is literally, and
it's
an animated parody. Like, for example, there's jokes like one of the Super Sentai's characters is Tan!
Yo, I'd be down for Cashin or Gatchaman.
Oh god, yes.
I've never seen
Gatchaman Crowds! I want to watch that one.
Cashin Sins is wonderful and is one of my top favorite anime.
Tekkaman Blade.
Oh god.
Also, Shinesman has fake commercials for merch, including the Shinesman shower uniform.
Alright, well, we've got many years ahead of us. We will eventually cover everything.
Me and Lane were just like, yeah, Tekkaman Blade, that's heavily Kamen Rider Black inspired.
Yeah. But until next week, thank you all once again. We love every one of you. You guys make this show feel more worth doing than it
We love
already is.
every one of the fans except for one. So we're not going to say
If
which
you don't
one.
know which one it is, it's you. We're kidding. We love everyone.
There's a couple we don't like.
To find out, you'll have to join our Discord server and paw through the clues.
By the way, anyone, if you want to play Final Fantasy XIV, message me or Itchy. We really want more people to play with.
Yes, we have a separate Discord for it.
We love helping new people get started in the game. What the hell is that?
Oh, that's
It's fucking Casher trying to take on the robot from Lost Planet. It's from Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
Oh yeah, he's in that. I love that game, and it deserves to be not on the Wii.
Right?
It deserves to be not on the Wii.
Yeah,
so much copyright.
Yeah, it's too bad.
So many licenses.
Yeah, far too bad how that went.
Yeah.
That game just doesn't exist anymore.
Like, yeah, like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game.
No,
yeah, because of the way it was download only.
I still, you know what? You want to play that? She'll bring over my Xbox. We can play that.
Do it.
Anytime.
Let's do a stream.
I have all the fucking characters unlocked.
Nice. Okay, enough. We will see you all next week. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.